The stuck exercise is really about embodying. So you know, everything was happening in the mind. You were feeling emotional, but we were all sprawled here, sitting down. You guys were sitting down in front of your computers. So now's the moment to embody what you might have been feeling, thinking, experiencing into the body. So they use this in Theory U in their work with social presencing theater. And then we'll do another form this afternoon, which is 3D systems mapping. So there are variations of this, and we'll do a variation today. It's a process by which one experiences going through the journey by moving from a stuck sculpture, we call it sculpture 1. So your current reality, how are you stuck? If you were a sculpture, what does that sculpture look like, embodying how you are stuck? And we're going to move to sculpture 2, the emerging future. We do not know what the movements will be or where they will stop, but we can follow the movement and then reflect on our experience. Surprising insights can arise. So what's the purpose? So the invitation is to notice the inclination of individuals and groups of people to move towards a saner, freer, healthier, more creative situation. It's to sense more deeply into the current reality rather than trying to fix the situation from the same mindset or frame of reference that created the stuck situation. Instead, we feel deeply into the situation, suspending our problem-solving habit. By paying attention to our body knowing and to the social field, we discover new directions or fresh insights that were not accessible just by thinking. So some principles. Let the body be the guide. Do not plan, act, mime, pretend, manipulate, or represent. Simply be and do. Lean into the stuck situation. The wisdom is there already. Notice what is emerging. What we in Theory U, sorry to use this terminology, what we call the crack or opening of the future. So you're stuck is actually your door or your portal into the future. It informs you of something. How is your body stuck? And that is, rather than see that as a negative thing, it is giving us information. You heard all the things you heard over the last couple of days. How would you free that body so you can move, you can flow into your emerging future? So what I'm saying, just to repeat, your body knows, your body has information. If you were to switch off your brain and let your emotions settle into your body, what would it look like to represent being stuck? Are you in the corner, rolled up in fetal position, crying, shouting? Are you hiding under a table? Any of the above. So I don't want to say too much because I don't want to limit what your stuck position is. Okay. Trust the moment-to-moment experience. So what are the uses and outcomes of this exercise? You become more sensitive to and honest about the feeling quality of a current situation. Suspend concepts, build trust in body knowing. Feel ourselves as part of a co-creative system. Feel what is emerging, a future that we want to create. This exercise can be used by individuals or teams as a practice for letting the intelligence of the body guide us in decisions and actions. Fully embodying our situations gives us direct feedback that informs our decisions. Noticing the interdependence of many factors and influences in every situation gives us a broader perspective. Okay, what's the setup? I already said that. We have today groups of 4. A couple of your groups online are 5, so we're going to give you time for 5. In fact, everybody will have time for 5, even when there's only 4 of you. Sufficient space so that groups can work without distraction. So there are 3 groups here. You don't all have to stay in this space. You can go to Cafe Tanki. Each person will share a gesture, a sculpture, let's just say sculpture 1, and a few minutes of reflection at the end. Part 2 is about 5 minutes, so we'll all do it simultaneously. Then that is moving from your sculpture 1 to your sculpture 2. Remember, 1 is current reality, 2 is emerging future. If you were to release your body, because lying in fetal position in the corner crying gets boring, gets tiring, you just, okay, I've had enough of this. Enough self-pity. I need to stand up. I need to sit up. Whatever. So just let your body lead, and then again, just let your body flow. Don't think too much about it. And then see what position is freer, saner, healthier for you. And then let it unfold into your sculpture 2 or your emerging future. So that's part 2. Part 3 is about 15 minutes per person. So in each of your groups, 15 is 1 hour. And those of you online, 1 hour, 15 minutes. But we're going to give everyone 1 hour, 15 minutes. So each person gets a turn of doing their sculpture 1. And then you get to ask all your friends in your group to emphasize, enhance, clarify your position. You put them in position. So for example, the person lying in the corner in fetal position crying, you're not doing that alone. There's a reason you're doing that. So are you being oppressed by your spouse? Are you being terrorized by your family, your system, your workplace? Let each person in your group symbolize that. Put them in a position. Someone's with a hammer over your head. There's a momo under your bed. So put all those friends in those postures, and then let it unravel, and each person will then find their movement to their sculpture 2, and everyone else in the system also is released from putting you in that stuck position, and everybody has a go at that. Okay? All right, so you all were given the guidelines, part 1, 2, and 3. Those of you online, you find a person in your team, actually all of you, both online and in person, find someone who will read the sequence. You don't need a facilitator, you just need someone who will read and remind, and maybe you need a timer, someone who times the group.